Hey guys, welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Chantel Purcell, and it's been 6 days since I had a double mastectomy, and they also removed lymph nodes and took out my chemo port. So if this is your first time, you might want to look at some previous videos just to kind of find out what's been going on for the last 5 months since my diagnosis with breast cancer and cancer in one lymph node. So I'm just going to give an update as to what the last 6 days has been like. So during surgery, they actually put in drainage tubes from the 3 areas where they took tissue, which was under my arm, in each breast area. And so there are drainage tubes under the skin that actually exit my body sort of on my sides, and they come down and then they drain into these little bulbs. And we have to empty those little bulbs every couple of hours because it fills up with just fluid. 2 days after I came home, one of the little drainage tubes that exits my body was leaking all over my body. Like, I was soaking wet, and no fluid was going into the little bulb. It was all over me. So we had to go to the ER, and actually my breast also was filling up with fluid. I mean, okay, so I can jokingly say this now. It looked like I was growing my boob back. That was not the plan, so we had to go back to the ER. They had decided that one was not operable. It was no longer working, but they weren't gonna take it out. They were just going to leave that one, and they were going to install a second drain over on that side. Just about the time they were about to reel me out to go install the second drain, whistling started coming from my body. And come to find out, the tubing literally had dislodged itself from the side of my body. It was hanging there by the sutures, which I can't even begin to tell you how painful it all was. So the surgeon on hand was able to snip the sutures, and literally once he did, like, the tubing just fell out. So this was really a blessing, actually, for 2 reasons. One, that it happened at the hospital. I would have gone home with that thing, and that would have happened later. So that was a huge blessing, and the fact that it fell out, they were able to use that incision, like that hole, to insert new tubing for new drainage. So it really did work out. But with that said, the only pain I really had for the first couple of days, or difficulty I even had, was all relative to the tubing and the drainage. The actual like breast tissue, the surgical sites were not painful at all. So, and I share this because, you know, if ever you're, coming behind me or know someone who does, I'm just trying to share a little of my experience for that as well. The pain pills, which I'm now on pain pills, and those I'm taking religiously every 4 hours. And I'm not one to take anything. Like, I'm not even big on taking like Tylenol or anything like that. But I've given myself a pass. I've decided to give myself a pass for like 2 weeks if needed, because I did just have major surgery, and there's no sense in me living with any degree of pain whatsoever. So I'm taking the pain pills every 4 hours. Today's day 6. So yesterday, around day 5, some of the numbness started kind of waking up. So like after you have major surgery, a lot of the area is still kind of numb. And I guess it's kind of like from anesthesia. It's just sort of, in this very numb state. So I started feeling a little bit more to the touch as of yesterday, and feeling like a tightness. So as far as bandaging goes, I literally have this very thin little bandaging that goes straight across, but it feels like it's this big, like a big area. It just feels like it's bandaged in a big area because it just feels so tight across that whole area, and my skin's really tight and everything. And quite honestly, I can't talk about it too much because it kind of makes me a little anxious. Little bit of anxiety because it's like that constricted kind of feeling around your chest. Well, I mean, see how that could sort of send you into a little anxious thing. So yeah, we won't talk about that anymore. But I did start feeling a little bit more yesterday, and feeling like the tightness, not major pain still. I have like one area that's kind of like sensitive to the touch, but I literally have to kind of touch it for it to be sensitive. So just not doing that. And as of today, it's really about the same. I mean, like the skin, I feel, touching and everything. It's starting to kind of wake up post-surgery, and but still not major pain. So I really hope to encourage you, if you or someone you know is coming behind me, that the pain's been really manageable, you guys, and I've stayed ahead of the pain, so I really don't feel a tremendous amount of discomfort. Most of it has been from the tubing and the drains. Like, I have a hard time sort of extending my arms out and stuff, and I'm kind of working on stretching and that kind of thing, mostly this side, where they took the lymph nodes is more sensitive. And so I'm working on kind of doing a little bit of stretching and to kind of help those areas from becoming too tight, too constricted. So today was a big day. So I have my mom here taking care of me, which is just a blessing. And so today was a big day because I can't take a shower or anything, but she did. I mean, it's amazing what like soap, water, deodorant, and perfume will do for a person, make you feel really good. So we kind of like bathed me a little bit and changed my clothes. So that's kind of the big deal. So I've been living in like zip up hoodies and sweatpants like for the last 6 days, which is perfect. A lot of people had recommended like zip or button front clothing, and quite honestly, I have found the zip front way easier. It's just less cumbersome to get it to zip up, just and clean sweep. So I've been living in those, and I will mention that they've been really helpful because they have like an elastic band at the waist, so I'm able to kind of like tuck that under my those little capsules that collect the fluid. I have 3 of them that sort of fall right around my waist area, and so I'm able to kind of tuck the fabric of the jacket around those little bulbs and kind of to protect the tubing that's coming down too, because one day when I was in the midst of changing hoodies from my like thick to thin, my tubing got caught on the closet doorknob, and thank God I didn't move very far, so I caught it before it like did anything. But yeah, be very careful of that. But so I kind of figured out that it's really good to have something that kind of can tuck around it or just cover it completely so that no tubing hangs out anywhere. They sent me home with 2 different things to hold the tubing and those little whatever they're called, those little like pouches or whatever the little things are that collect the fluid. They sent me home with a belt, which is great because it just goes around my waist, and each little thing hangs from the little belt, so that's pretty easy, and I can just kind of lift my top or whatever I have on to look at the fluid level to see if they need to be emptied. The other garment they sent me home with was kind of like a corset and like a little vest that zips in the front, and it had these little pockets on the inside of the vest that Velcro, and each one holds a little capsule. So it just snugly holds everything kind of up close to the body, which is so nice, and kind of felt very kind of comforting that it's holding everything together. Now the only downside is that in order to check the fluid levels, which you're doing pretty often in the beginning, I had to kind of unzip the vest and then look inside each of the little pouches to look at the little whatever, the little bubble thing, to see how much the level was. So not as easy for checking the fluid levels, but very comforting and comfortable to be kind of a little huggy. So those 2 things really come in handy, and my mom's signaling to me just she's gonna take a little rest. I have been wearing her out, you guys. Oh, God bless her. So yeah, I mean, like, I know I look really good today as I'm like sitting outside. I actually got clothes on. I put a little dress on today after I took a bath. I put this little dress on because it's very loose, and kind of made me feel better like getting dressed. To be very honest, I used all of my energy just to get cleaned up, and really kind of ready for a nap myself. It's been doable. It's been doable. We've had a outpouring of love and help. We have just some really amazing people who have been providing meals for us like every other day. So my husband had to travel out of the country for work a couple of days after I got home, which again was a blessing. He was able to be with me during my surgery, get me home, and he was home the day that we had the issue that took us back to the ER. He left the following day, so kind of got me over the hurdles. So my mom's here, and I'm gonna get emotional because we've just had so much just outpouring of like help and prayers and support, and you guys have just been incredible. But so we've had meals delivered every other day. Honest to God, I don't know when she would have a chance to cook. She barely stops. I mean, like around the clock. And she wouldn't have had time to cook. I mean, we'd be living off like PB&J if it was up to our time schedule. So it's just been a huge help. So, you know, if you ever have someone who's going through this or you're going through this, definitely allow it. Ask for the help, allow the help. Or if you know someone who's going through surgery, it doesn't have to be this type of surgery. Just know how helpful your offering of taking like one meal, you know, and maybe getting a group of people together. We are actually using a thing now called the meal train, which is like an online kind of thing. It's been super awesome. Like people can sign up and they can tell you like what day they're going to bring something, what they're going to bring if they already know. And it's just been really incredible. So anyway, if you're part of our meal train or our prayer train, just know that you are a huge part of this. You are my army of angels, our strength, and we couldn't be doing any of this without you guys. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you with my whole heart. Thank you. So yeah, I think my last video I did a couple of hours after my surgery when I was in the hospital, definitely on drugs. I think I said I looked better than I felt. No, I felt better than I looked because I looked hideous, but I think I felt better than that. To date, not that I look fantastic, but I think I might look a little better than I feel. So definitely run out of steam, and I have some discomfort. But it's livable. It's totally livable. I have like a little bandaging right here. I'm not going to go too far down, but just know that that's about the width of it. It's about yay wide. Not extreme. It's just very snug. We go back to my doctor in about 6 days, I think it is. She'll check everything, and we might even get the drains out. That would be awesome. And hopefully we'll get the, I started to say packaging, my packaging undone. What do you call this stuff? The wrapping, yeah, you guys are probably saying the word like that. Getting all of this stuff off. With any luck, maybe I'll be able to take a shower by then. So about 6 days from now, that would be awesome. So that's about it. You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm having a little trouble like focusing and with my concentration. I'm sure it has a lot to do with, you know, being on pain meds and stuff. And I'm grateful for those because they've really kept the pain at bay. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for your continued support. And I'll be back in a few days with a little update. And until then, please just get out there and live your best life. All right, bye. So I had a triple mastectomy, yes. I had all 3 of my boobs removed 3 days ago. That's what I did. Oh my God. Can I have some more pain meds, please? They also, so actually I only had a double because I only had 2 boobs. And so they took them both, and then they also took out some lymph nodes, and they removed my chemo port, and that was 3 days ago. So if anyone has ever had a triple mastectomy, I would love to hear from you and know how that went for you. So anyway, yeah, so clearly the pain meds are working.